Angel Storm. I'm the founder of Ashes to Beauty Ministries, and today I want to talk to you about how to break the trauma bond. I've been discussing what happens when a victim becomes bonded to their abuser, and today I want to talk to you about how you can break it or how you can help others in your life break it. So I've talked before about going no contact, and this is truly the way to break off that bond. It's the first step in recovery. It's the first step in healing your inner self. It's the first step in building a new life. So really, you need to cut off all contact with your abuser. It's so important that you distance yourself from that traumatic and destructive cycle. So step number one is to break contact. There are situations where you can't cut off contact. You want to cut off contact, but you can't. And this was my situation, so I understand how that can be. If you can't cut off all contact, go gray rock, which means just do not respond to anything that the abuser says to you. If you're ordered to maintain contact through the courts or some other situation, just respond to what he says in very direct terms. Yes, no, I'll tell you Tuesday, but make sure that you follow through on whatever it is that you say you're going to do. If you said you're going to tell him Tuesday, but do it without any emotional context at all. Narcissists specifically get energy from depriving you of your energy. So when they can sense that they're getting under your skin, that they're causing you to have some sort of emotional reaction, this is all that they are trying to do. This is the exact end goal of what they are doing. So don't give them that. Just stop reacting emotionally to what they are saying. Just respond with the facts. Step number two is to stop self-blame. It's easy for you to blame yourself and say, like, if I had done this thing different, or if only I was more of this way, if I had behaved this way in this situation. But all of those things are just trying to rationalize the crazy abusive cycle that you've been in. And none of it will, first of all, change the past. And second of all, none of that is helpful to your future. So just cut off the self-blame. Whenever you find yourself going back into that cycle of, if I would have done this, I wonder if it would have been different. Stop that cycle. Pay attention to what you're saying. Pay attention to how you're feeling, and just come back to your center. Come back to being present in the moment. Recite the things over your life that you know are true, such as the plans for my life are good. They are bountiful. I am made to prosper. I was made as the head and not the tail. Whatever it is that you need to say over yourself, repeat those promises. Repeat those things over yourself. Step three, I always tell my clients to do this. Start journaling. The sooner the better. Even if you're still involved with a narcissist in some way, start journaling, because it is the way that you can keep track of truly what is happening. Sometimes as time goes on, we think, and the abuser has told us this is what actually happened, something called gaslighting. You can begin to question your own reality. But when you journal, you're able to be present in the moment, and you're able to have an account of what actually happened. You aren't going crazy. Those things actually did happen to you. Keep your own account of what has occurred to you in your life, not just so that you can heal, but so that you can identify this when other people are going through it, and you can help them come out of that cycle as well. So step three, be present in the moment, and do so by journaling, because this is the way that you can keep an exact account of what has happened and what is happening now. And as you begin to heal, you'll be able to have the whole journey mapped out for you. Step four involves learning how to ask the right questions. A lot of times the questions that we ask ourselves revolve around why. Why did this happen? Why did I do this? Why did this person get into my life? But if you're able to shift your perspective on the situation, you're able to ask better questions. Not that that why isn't a good question, it's just the one that keeps repeating, you never grow from it. So shift perspective and ask yourself a different question. What boundaries do I need to construct in my life to make sure that this doesn't happen again? When I am 80 years old and I'm looking back on my life, what is the thing that I want to accomplish? You know, these kinds of questions. Start looking at this situation from a different perspective and see how that changes your mindset and helps you grow through what you've been through. Step 5, reconnect with who you are. Oftentimes when you're in an abusive relationship, you just lose yourself. You just don't have any idea who you are, what you like, what you're here to do, why you're still alive, what you exist for. All of these questions need to be answered, but you need to reconnect with who you truly are. I recommend thinking back to when you truly had a passion for something. What was that thing? Start doing that thing again. Maybe it's painting or riding horses, whatever it is, start doing that again and allow your true self to come out through all of the barriers and through all of the layers that you've put on to protect yourself. It's really important that those things get shed. You might think that those things are there to protect you, but they're really just hampering who you truly are from coming out. So it's important that you reconnect with who you truly are and allow those things to come out. Step 6 is remembering that this is a process. This isn't going to happen overnight. So old feelings are going to come back up, and it's important that you have a plan for how to address those things when they come up. Maybe it's just recognizing how you're feeling and allowing yourself to feel that for a moment, but then reciting the truths that you have over your life, reciting those over yourself, or maybe it's calling a friend. Whatever it is, get a plan in place for how you're going to deal with these feelings, because they're going to be very overwhelming and overpowering, but it's important that you have a plan for how to escape them and how to overcome them. So get a plan in place for what you're going to do when you feel old feelings come up, such as maybe the abuser meant this. I think there really was a part of the abuser who loved me. I really think that there's something good about this person that could be useful in my life. Any of these old thoughts, old feelings, when they come up, you have to have a plan for how to address them. That needs to not be contact the abuser. Every time you reconnect the trauma bond, every time you get back into the relationship with the abuser, that bond and that addiction becomes stronger. So it's really important that you have a healthy way to manage those feelings when they come up. And the last step is something that you cannot skip. I really recommend that you connect to God. All of these things will sort themselves out when you remember who you are, whose you are, why you were created, and what you're here to do. All of these issues that I mentioned in the first part of this video have to do with identity. You've lost who you were created to be and what you were created to do. And when you reconnect to God, that bond can never be broken. Those things can no longer be stolen from you. Your identity is no longer in question, and your sense of security is steadfast. Nothing can shake you. It's really important that you have a firm foundation, a rock to root yourself to, so that no matter what comes your way, you're able to weather it and you're able to stand firm on what you know is true. I hope these steps have helped you understand how to break the trauma bond and how to keep it broken, and maybe even help somebody else who needs them.